Good morning. It's my pleasure to call this meeting of the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to order. Today is March 27th, 2019. The time is 9:30. With us today are Commissioner Emily Lindley and our General Counsel, Mary Smith. I'm John Neerman, and I'll ask Mary to begin the proceedings.
Item number 1, the application by U.S. Steel Tubular Products Incorporated for a major amendment of its TPDES permit. Yesterday, the sole hearing requester withdrew his request. The ED filed a motion to remand, and that motion was granted. So the Commission may proceed to item 2.
Great.
Item number 2 is an application by Aethon Energy Operating, LLC for temporary water use permit number 13418. The parties have been notified that the Commissioners will not take oral argument but may ask questions. Representatives of the applicant are signed in and available to answer questions, and their presence will be noted for the record.
So, Commissioner Lindley, as I look at this one, we have several requests for a contested case hearing on this application for a temporary water right. And while I appreciate the concerns, none of the requesters are affected persons, in my judgment. They do not hold water rights. They do not own property on the water course. They're located some distance from the diversion point, so I think none of them are affected in a manner different from the general public, and the legislature just simply has not provided for a contested case hearing for those types of interests, of concerns.
I would agree with those same thoughts. So with that, I would move that we deny all the hearing requests and issue temporary water use permit number 13418 to Aethon Energy Operation, LLC, as recommended by the Executive Director.
Second. The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item number 3 is a petition for the creation of the Caddo Mills Municipal Management District number 1 of Hunt County. The petitioners seek the creation order and should present the matter, followed by any interested persons, presently none, the ED, and then OPIC. OGC recommends initially limiting the parties to 5 minutes for their presentations. The petitioners may save some time for rebuttal as they bear the burden of proof. Mr. Timothy Green, the petitioner's attorney, is here to present the item.
Good morning, Mr. Green.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner. My name, for the record, is Tim Green. I'm an attorney with the Coates Rose Law Firm out of Houston. I represent D.R. Horton and the Double R Land Company. They're the owners of all the property in the district except for the land that's owned by the proposed directors. This is a petition requesting that you create Caddo Mills Municipal Management District number 1 of Hunt County. It is 454 acres. It is all located within the corporate limits of the city of Caddo Mills. The city has consented to it. Right now, just so you know, there are 330 lots under development, so this is going to be an active, vibrant community east of Dallas. I have with me, in case you have any questions about the development, Mr. David Booth, who's a Senior Vice President at D.O. Horton, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. I have none. Commissioner Lindley, any questions?
I don't have any questions either.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone signed in on this matter? Okay, we'll hear from the Executive Director.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman Neerman, Commissioner Lindley, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. My name is Shay Pearson, and I'm an attorney with the Environmental Law Division representing the Executive Director. With me today is Chris Ullman from the District Section. The Executive Director received a petition from Double R Land Company, LLC, and D.R. Horton, Texas, Ltd. for the creation of Caddo Mills Municipal Management District number 1 of Hunt County pursuant to Chapter 375 of the Texas Local Government Code. We have reviewed the petition and concluded that all applicable requirements have been met. The Executive Director recommends granting the petition for district creation, and we're available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
Not this time.
Mr. McWhirter.
OPIC recommends granting the petition from Double R Land Company in D.R. Horton, Texas for creation of Caddo Mills Municipal Management District number 1 of Hunt County and issuance of the proposed order presented by the Executive Director.
Thank you. Commissioner Lindley, on my review of this item and on the recommendation of the Executive Director and OPIC, it appears that the petitioners have met all of the requirements, and I think it's appropriate to go ahead with district creation and appointment of the directors.
I would agree. I move that we grant the petition for the creation of Caddo Mills Municipal Management District Number 1 of Hunt County and issue the Executive Director's recommended commission order for creating the district and appointing 5 initial directors.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 4 is the consideration of the adoption of the renewal with amendments of the John Graves Scenic Riverway General Permit Number TXG 500000. The executive staff, director's staff is here to present the item. Their individuals signed in, but they have indicated that they don't wish to speak.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. On behalf of the Executive Director, I am Rebecca Villalba with the Water Quality Division. With me here today are Dan Sibinaker with the Water Quality Division and Michael Parr with the Environmental Law Division. Staff requests adoption of the renewal with amendment of the Texas Pollutant Discharge Elimination System General Permit Number TXG 500,000, known as the John Graves Scenic Riverway General Permit. This general permit authorizes the discharge of processed wastewater, mine dewatering, stormwater associated with industrial activity, construction stormwater, and certain non-stormwater discharges from quarries located greater than 1 mile from a water body within a water quality protection area known as the John Graves Scenic Riverway. The John Graves Scenic Riverway is that portion of the Brazos River basin and its contributing watershed located downstream of the Morris Shepherd Dam on the Possum Kingdom Reservoir and in Palo Pinto County and extending to the county line between Parker and Hood counties. The existing general permit expires on April 7, 2019. Public notice of the general permit was published in the Texas Register and in 4 newspapers on August of 2018. The public comment period ended October 1, 2018. 1 public comment was received and a response to the comment was developed, which is included in the backup material before you today. Staff respectively recommends adoption of this general permit and the response to comment. Additionally, staff requests authorization to make non-substantive revisions to comply with the Texas Register requirements. Thank you. We are now available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
No questions.
Mr. McWhirter.
OPIC recommends adoption of the renewal and amendment of the John Graves Scenic Riverway General Permit as presented by the Executive Director.
Thank you. Commissioner Lindley, it seems to me that in addition to the water quality benefits, we need to maintain this authorization in order to comply with the Texas Water Code. It seems there's been good stakeholder involvement in this process, which I appreciate, and the amendments are relatively minor, so I think it's appropriate for us to move ahead with this.
I would agree. Actually, the John Graves Scenic Waterway General Permit was one of my first public meetings here at the agency, and now we're renewing it. I think this is not the first time it's been renewed since I've been here, so it's dating me. But I'll move that we adopt with a renewal with amendments to the John Graves Scenic Riverway General Permit Number TXG 500000.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 5 is the resolution to fill membership positions on the Galveston Bay Council.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner Lindley, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. On behalf of the Executive Director, I'm Lori Hamilton, Director of the Water Quality Planning Division in the Office of Water. With me are Carrie Neiman and Lisa Marshall, also of the Water Quality Planning Division, and Celia Castro with the Environmental Law Division. We are here today to request your consideration to approve a resolution to fill 22 of the 41 membership positions on the Galveston Bay Council. The Galveston Bay Council is a 41-member advisory body to the Commission whose function is to advise the Commission on the implementation of the Galveston Bay Plan, the Comprehensive Conservation and Management Plan for Galveston Bay. Members serve 4-year terms, and the terms are staggered such that approximately half of the terms expire at the same time. The members of the Galveston Bay Council represent diverse areas of interest in accordance with Federal Clean Water Act, Section 320. The Galveston Bay Council is representative of federal, state, and local governments, research and academia, the private sector, and environmental and citizen groups. The 22 nominees were either selected by the executive director of their respective agency or entity, or his or her delegate were solicited and reviewed by the Galveston Bay Council Nomination Subcommittee and submitted to the Galveston Bay Council to determine which nominees to recommend to the Commission for consideration. We respectfully request approval of a resolution to fill 22 of the 41 membership positions on the Galveston Bay Council. Thank you for your consideration, and we are available for questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, sir.
Mr. McWhorter.
OPIC recommends approval of the proposed resolution to appoint,
Forgive me, let me interrupt you. I think we have an interested person who wants to address the commission. And I would ask Ms. Sheed to approach. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman Neerman and Commissioner Lindley. My name is Linda Sheed, and I am a member of the Galveston Bay Council. I want to thank you for considering this and your support from the Commission for the Council. I have been on the Council for I don't remember how many years now, but have been involved in the Galveston Bay Estuary Program since before the first plan. This was it, and now we are ready for the next plan. And so I also need to apologize for Helen Page. She is chair of the council, and she was on her way up, hit such horrible traffic that she could see that she wouldn't make it here in time, so she had to turn around. But also here with me today are 2 other members representing council members. Christine Bergen is represents TxDOT on the Galveston Bay Council. She's here. And Genevieve Janest is here representing Bob Stokes from the Galveston Bay Foundation, and he's on the council. So just want you to know that there's tremendous support for the council, and they meet 4 times a year. There's 41 members, as you heard, often close to 90% attendance, even though, so you can imagine that's fabulous rather than having to fight for a quorum to be there. It's because it's a good meeting, effective meeting, and people always know they're going to learn something when they go to the meeting. So we appreciate your consideration and look forward to moving on with the next item, which I will come back and speak to. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it, and thank you, and thank your colleagues for making the drive. I know it's not an easy thing to get here at 9:30 in the morning from Galveston. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McWhorter.
Yes. OPIC recommends approval of the proposed resolution to appoint 22 members to the Galveston Bay Council as presented by the Executive Director.
Thank you. Mr. Lindley, any questions?
No, I'm comfortable with the 22.
Again, I want to thank all the members of the Galveston Bay Council for their service and leadership. It's a real service to the state. I appreciate the nominations, and I appreciate the Executive Director's recommendations. And, Commissioner, I think it's appropriate that we move forward.
I agree. I move that we approve the Executive Director's proposed resolution appointing stakeholders to fill 22 membership positions on the Galveston Bay Council.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item number 6 is the consideration of a resolution to approve the Galveston Bay Plan, Second Edition, the Comprehensive Conservation and Management Plan for the Galveston Bay ecosystem. The matter should be introduced by the Executive Director, followed by any present interested parties wishing to speak, and then by OPIC.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner Lindley, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. On behalf of the Executive Director, I'm Lori Hamilton, Director of the Water Quality Planning Division in the Office of Water. With me are Carrie Neiman and Lisa Marshall, also of the Water Quality Planning Division, and Celia Castro with the Environmental Law Division. We are here today to request your consideration to approve the Galveston Bay Plan, Second Edition, the Comprehensive Conservation and Management Plan for the Galveston Bay ecosystem. The Galveston Bay Estuary Program is one of 28 national estuary programs designated by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Each national estuary program is charged with developing and implementing a comprehensive conservation and management plan that serves as a blueprint to guide future decisions and addresses a wide range of environmental issues. The Galveston Bay Plan Second Edition is a revision of the original 1995 Comprehensive Conservation and Management Plan and addresses many of the same priority issues and actions while also identifying new approaches to conservation and management. It is a long-term plan extending over a 20-year period that contains actions to protect and preserve Galveston Bay. More than 150 members of the Galveston Bay community, representing local governments, industry, academia, nonprofit organizations, resource agencies, and the public, donated their time and talents to develop the Galveston Bay Plan Second Edition. It was approved by the Galveston Bay Council on October 17, 2018. We respectfully request approval of the Galveston Bay Plan Second Edition. Thank you for your consideration, and we are available for questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
Not at this time.
Ms. Sheed, I think we get to hear from you again.
I'll be quick, and I always do talk fast, so that probably helps that. But anyway, again, want to thank you for your consideration. It was a nearly 2-year process and involved many members of the public. In addition to that 150 members, there was a lot of communications to the public, and then the over 400 comments that came back and were addressed. And it moves us into that next 2 decades of implementation, and that's what we all are already working on. You probably can't stop us. It's a group that's very committed to doing this, and this new plan streamlines some things. We had 82 action plans in the previous version of this, and now we have 10 action plans with 38 items under that. But anyway, so it's a little bit more focused on things that the council and its participants can actually accomplish. Some of the things before weren't so effective that way. Pick things that nobody had the authority to actually implement. So we're excited for doing it and look forward to another 20 years at least.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Any questions or comments at this point?
Not at this point.
Mr. McWhirter.
OPIC supports the resolution for approval of the Galveston Bay Plan, Second Edition, the Comprehensive Conservation and Management Plan for the Galveston Bay ecosystem as presented by the Executive Director.
Thank you. The stakeholder involvement in this is not lost on me. And in addition to the council, I really appreciate all the time and talent that's been volunteered by members of the Galveston Bay community to develop this plan and the extensive public comment. The plan appears to satisfy all the requirements. It's going to help ensure continued federal funding for the Galveston Bay Estuary Program. And so I'm in favor for it.
I agree. I greatly appreciate all the work that's done on it, both from the council, from stakeholders, from our staff. Finalizing that thing is a lot of work, and everyone did a good job. So with that, I move that we approve the Galveston Bay Plan, Second Edition, the Comprehensive Conservation and Management Plan for the Galveston Bay ecosystem as requested by the Executive Director, and adopt the Executive Director's proposed resolution.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 7 is the consideration of material changes to contracts for goods and services awarded under Chapter 2155 of the Texas Government Code, executed during the previous quarter. And the Executive Director's staff is here to present the item.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Lindley, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Chris Goldberg, Procurements and Contracts Manager of the Financial Administration Division. I have with me Robert Apollinario and Roger Doobie of the Financial Administration Division. We are representing the Executive Director. The items contain the material changes made to contracts and purchases for goods and services between September 1, 2018 through November 30th, 2018. Reported material changes include extensions of the contract or completion of work for 6 months or more, or an increase in consideration of 10% or more. In accordance with Section 2155.088 of the Texas Government Code, the Executive Director presents these items for your consideration.
Thank you. Any questions at this point?
No questions.
Mr. McWhirter.
OPIC recommends issuance of the resolution acknowledging material changes to contracts for gifts and services as presented by the Executive Director.
Thank you. And these changes appear appropriate to me. I don't see any reason why we should not move ahead.
I agree. I move that we approve the issuance of the Executive Director's proposed resolution that acknowledges the material changes to contracts for goods and services in accordance with Section 2155.088 of the Texas Government Code for the period of September 1, 2018 to November 30th, 2018, as described in the TCEQ Interoffice Memorandum to the Commissioners and Executive Director dated February 28, 2019, in docket number 2019-0007-MIS.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
That takes us to the enforcement docket, items 8 through 26. The executive director's staff is on its way up and here to present these matters.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Melissa Cordell of the Enforcement Division, and with me today are Brian Sinclair, also of the Enforcement Division, and Charmaine Backens and Janice Hernandez of the Litigation Division representing the Executive Director. Pending before you are items 8 through 26. The total assessed administrative penalties are $317,629, with $43,315 deferred, $59,148 applied toward supplemental environmental projects, and $215,166 to the general revenue. We respectfully request approval of these items and are available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I have none. Commissioner?
No questions.
Mr. McWhorter?
My office reviewed these items, and we support approval of the proposed orders.
Thank you. And I've reviewed these items and don't have any issues with them. I think it's appropriate to move forward.
I agree. I move that we adopt items 8 through 26 as recommended today by the Executive Director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item number 27 is consideration of the monthly enforcement report, and the Executive Director's staff is here to present the item.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. My name is Melissa Cordell of the Enforcement Division, and with me is Brian Sinclair of the Enforcement Division and Charmaine Backens and Janice Hernandez of the Litigation Division. We are here to present the monthly enforcement report for fiscal year 2019 through January. There were 493 effective administrative orders issued, and of those, 62 contained supplemental environmental projects. These orders assessed a total of $4,273,894 in penalties, with a payable amount of $2,614,210. $988,313 are to be paid towards supplemental environmental projects. 7,139 notices of violation have been issued through either our field offices or review of self-reported data in our central office, and 650 enforcement action referrals have been received. There are 1,581 pending administrative orders with 140 cases that are on the backlog. 211 cases are pending at the Attorney General's office for representation in district court, and 7 judgments have been issued. 2,089 cases are being tracked for compliance. We have included for review a summary of OCE investigative activities for fiscal years 2017, 18, and 19. We are available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I have no questions. Commissioner?
I don't have any questions either.
Mr. McWhorter?
I appreciate the report. As always, I don't have any questions.
Thank you. Thank you for the report.
Thanks.
Item number 28 is the consideration of a petition for rulemaking filed by the City of Wichita Falls to amend 30 Texas Administrative Code, Section 295159, to include an exception from the notice requirements to extend the deadline to commence or complete construction of a reservoir designed for storage of more than 50,000 acre-feet of water. The City of Wichita Falls is the moving party and should present the matter. followed by other interested persons. At present, everyone signed in has indicated that they don't want to speak. The ED and then OPIC in that order. OGC recommends limiting the speakers to 5 minutes each for presentations. The City of Wichita Falls, represented by Ms. Sarah Thornton, is here to present the item.
Thank you. Ms. Thornton, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel. My name is Sarah Thornton. I'm an attorney with the law firm Lloyd Gosselink here in Austin, Texas, and I'm pleased to present this petition on behalf of my client, the City of Wichita Falls. First, I want to thank the Executive Director's staff for assisting the City in this petition for rulemaking. They took time to meet with the City to discuss how we could implement this petition for rulemaking, and we think that makes this a much more seamless and smooth process, so we appreciate that very much. The City of Wichita Falls has experienced severe and extreme drought over the past several years. And to ensure that they can continue to provide water to their citizens, they have been diligently pursuing water supply efforts, including the Lake Ringgold Project, which is the recommended water management strategy in the Texas State Water Plan. It is also identified and designated as a unique reservoir site. Now, most people may know, having worked on multiple reservoir projects, these are very complex projects and very time-consuming and expensive, both for the state water right permitting and for the federal permitting. And given the costs associated, particularly with the federal permitting, given that it often requires an environmental impact statement, the City of Wichita Falls has chosen to first pursue the state water right permit. But this does create a bit of an issue with respect to potential notice of applications to extend or commence construction. Because of the time frame for permitting, a 404 permit can range over 10 years. The time to commence construction that is included in a state water right permit, it has to be within 2 years from the date of issuance of that particular permit. And so it's very possible that the City of Wichita Falls would be in a position of the permit being issued and then still be in the 404 permitting process for several years. And so what happens under the Texas Administrative Code, there is a provision that requires that if you request an extension more than 4 years after the original date of time to commence construction, then you have to renotice the application in the same manner that it was originally noticed, which is very expensive and takes resources not just from the city but from the commission as well. And when you're talking about a water right permit for a reservoir project, there's a lot of investment that's put into that project, particularly if it's a project of more than 50,000 acre-feet of storage. And so the purpose of this petition for rulemaking for the City of Wichita Falls is to create an exemption from this notice requirement. Because if they've gone through the effort of even potentially going through a contested case hearing, it doesn't make sense to then open them up again for the potential for a contested case hearing. We think this is good public policy. We also think it is consistent with the Texas Water Code under a section 11.145, which does not require notice of an application to extend commencement of construction. And it is also consistent with 11.146G, which provides that you cannot forfeit or cancel a permit for storage in a reservoir of 50,000 acre-feet or more. So we think based on the public policy and the fact that it is consistent with the Texas Water Code, and as well agreeing with the Executive Director that we should initiate rulemaking in this regard, we would respectfully request that the Commission grant this petition for rulemaking and initiate rulemaking. I'm now available for any questions.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Commissioner?
No questions.
I have none either. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Executive Director.
Good morning. I'm Ross Henderson with the Water Availability Division. I have Robin Smith with the Environmental Law Division. We're here representing the Executive Director, and we respectfully recommend granting the petition for rulemaking with a stakeholder process up front, and we're available for questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Mr. McWhorter?
OPIC supports the ED's recommendation for the initiation of rulemaking with stakeholder input to consider petitioner's proposal.
Thank you. I certainly understand and appreciate the concerns. I think it's premature to settle on any particular rule language, but I do think it's appropriate that we open the rule and see if we can't resolve some of the issues.
I agree. So with that, I would move that we initiate rulemaking on the petition for rulemaking filed by the City of Wichita Falls and adopt the Executive Director's proposed order, but replace the phrase to grant the petition and to with the phrase that the Executive Director in paragraph 2.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 29 is the consideration for publication and hearing on proposed amendment to Section 7.119 of 30 Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 7, regarding a memorandum of understanding. The Executive Director's staff is here to present this item.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. I am Kathy Humphreys with the Environmental Law Division. With me today is Catherine Nelson of the Water Quality Planning Division. This rulemaking adopts by reference updates to the Memorandum of Understanding between the TCEQ and TxDOT regarding TCEQ's environmental reviews of TxDOT highway projects. The updates are the result of the review required by Texas Transportation Code Section 201.607. TCEQ and TxDOT staff coordinated on the revisions to the MOU. TxDOT adopted the rules at their open meeting on February 28, 2019. The adopted rules were published in the Texas Register on March 15, 2019, and became effective on March 21, 2019. We are available for any questions.
Thank you. I have none, Commissioner.
No questions.
Mr. McWhirter.
OPIC recommends approval for publication of and hearing on the proposed amended rule and updated memorandum of understanding with Texas Department of Transportation as recommended by the Executive Director.
Thank you. And I don't see anything controversial or any obstacles in this. We're just sorting out how we conduct our business with TxDOT, and that seems to be worked out fairly well.
I agree.
So I'll entertain a motion.
Great. I move that we approve the publication of and hearing on proposed amended Section 7.119 of 30 Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 7, as recommended by the Executive Director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 30 is the consideration of the adoption of the Dallas-Fort Worth redesignation request and maintenance plan, state implementation plan revision for the 1-hour and 1997 8-hour ozone national ambient air quality standards. The Executive Director's staff is here to present this item.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. I'm Kathy Singleton of the Air Quality Division. With me is Terry Salem of the Environmental Law Division. For your consideration today is item 30, the Dallas-Fort Worth redesignation request and maintenance plan SIP revision for the 1-hour and 1997 8-hour ozone national ambient air quality standards. This SIP revision includes a request that the EPA redesignate the DFW area to attainment for the 1-hour and the 1997 8-hour ozone standards and provides a maintenance plan that will ensure the area continues to meet those standards through 2032. This SIP revision includes a contingency plan and establishes motor vehicle emissions budgets for the 2032 horizon year. Public comments received during the comment period have been summarized and addressed in this SIP revision. Staff respectfully request adoption of this revision and are available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I have none, Commissioner.
No questions.
Mr. McWhirter.
OPIC recommends adoption of the Dallas-Fort Worth redesignation request and maintenance plan state implementation plan revision for the 1-hour and 1997 8-hour ozone national ambient air quality standards as presented by the Executive Director.
Thank you. It feels like Groundhog Day. We keep doing this. What's unique about today is we're at adoption for DFW, but I would just refer to comments at previous agendas to the extent anybody wants to know our opinion about this rule matter. I'm in favor of it.
I agree.
And we'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the adoption of the Dallas-Fort Worth redesignation request and maintenance plan state implementation plan revision for the 1 hour and 1997 8-hour ozone national ambient air quality standards as recommended by the executive director.
Thank you. The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That takes us to items 31 through 35, which are the quadrennial rule reviews for chapters 9, 91, 217, 317, and 337 of Texas Administrative Code Title 30. The executive director's staff is here to present these matters.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Patricia Duran from the General Law Division, and with me is Janice Hudson from the Environmental Law Division, representing the Executive Director. Pending before you are items 31 through 35, the adopted rule reviews of 30 TAC chapters 991, 217, 317, and 337. As required by Texas Government Code Section 2001.039, Executive Director staff conducted rule reviews of these chapters to determine if the need for the rules within these chapters continue to exist. The proposed notices of the rule reviews were published in the October 12, 2018 issue of the Texas Register. The public comment period for these rule reviews closed on November 12, 2018. No comments were received during the public comment period. Based on the review of these chapters, the Executive Director has determined that the reasons for the rules continue to exist. Respectfully recommend approval of the adoption of the rule reviews of 30 TAC chapters 9, 91, 217, 317, and 337. Additionally, staff requests authorization to make non-substantive revisions necessary to comply with Texas Register requirements. Thank you. Project managers and attorneys assigned to each of the chapters are here with us to answer any questions.
Thank you. I have none. Commissioner Lindley?
I don't have any questions either.
Mr. McWhorter?
OPIC recommends adoption of these rule reviews as presented by the Executive Director.
Thank you. Commissioner, these rules still serve a purpose. I think it's appropriate that we adopt the review and re-adopt the rules.
I agree. I move that we adopt the rule reviews and re-adopt the rules in chapters 9, 91, 217, 317, and 337 of Title 30 Texas Administrative Code without amendment.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 36 is the public comment session. We do not have anyone signed in to speak at this time. So that takes us to the end of the items posted for open session. For executive session items 37 through 40, the commission will meet in closed session in room 4222, building F, in 10 minutes, as permitted by the Open Meetings Act, including Texas Government Code sections 551.071 and 551.074, to take up and consider matters pursuant to items number 37 through 40 as posted and noticed.
The time is 10:07. We stand in recess.
The commission met in room 4222, Building F, for closed session from 10:19 a.m. until 10:47 a.m. on item number 37, as posted and noticed pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074. No action was taken. The agenda stands adjourned. The time is 11:05.